What's up, guys? Our wrestling podcast back at you with another episode. This is Dave Vicious, along with Jess Total Package and Craig the British Bulldog, bringing you our perspective on the world of professional wrestling. No inside sources, no ties to the industry,
none.
Just stories from the diehards, sharing opinions with you. Today's topic: WWF Shotgun Saturday Night. For audio fans, give us an Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio, or watch our videos on YouTube at Our Wrestling Channel, and check out exclusive content only on Daily Motion at Our Wrestling Podcast. On social media, can you give us a follow on Instagram at O.W.P 2019 or on Facebook at Our Wrestling Podcast? Jess, the fuck we doing here?
Huh? I didn't choose a topic. Craig did. I'm just kidding. Shotgun Saturday Night. So, man. So when
I love guns and Saturdays
and shotguns, yes,
that makes a lot of sense.
Vince did some crazy shit when WCW was beating the shit out of him, and in January 1997, he decided to launch another show, even though Raw was supposed to be Raw, live, and uncut or whatever. But like Shotgun Saturday Night was this concept that he had, and some people will remember Shotgun because Dave's. I'm sorry, I had to belch there. Dave's going to read on that it became syndicated and just part of like the normal syndicated shows like Sunday Night Heat and all that stuff. And but originally for the first couple of months, Shotgun Saturday Night was from the most weirdest fucking locations. Like we did an episode in our archives on WCW Spring Break where the Club Vila and all that stuff. And it was just very, once a year they would do it. And, Nitro and Bischoff was never afraid to really kind of go to this weird venue. Like the first ever Nitro was in Mall of America, for fuck's sake. But like Vince decided to do in 1997, this whole we'll have this late night Saturday show. And it'll be like in these dingy clubs or strip clubs or whatever. And you'll read on that one of the fucking New York subway system. And it was called Shotgun Saturday Night, where he was supposed to be able to do like this more risque product. This, it was very just freaking indie almost. I think he was trying for like an indie feel. I really do believe that's what he was trying for. But, when we're at the top of the mountain and you're worth millions, even in his down period, it's like, no, nobody believes that you're trying to recreate something raw and fresh or whatever. So it's like, it was this really weird failed attempt that the show lasted for a couple years, but the concept died after like a couple months. But I was really fascinated. I've been wanting to do this for a while. And finally I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I was on an internet wormhole and I was on YouTube and I just saw the Terry Runnels thing where she showed her breasts on Shotgun Saturday Night. I was fucking Shotgun Saturday Night. I totally fucking forgot about that. So I just kind of want to talk about it and laugh at it because it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I think it was Joe that shared this week on the on Discord, because that's what we used. Not that one, but when he shared the fact that Vince was doing a total dance and jig to Chocolate Salty Balls from South Park, I was like, yeah, he'll do anything. He'll try anything, and he thought it was fantastic.
And in January 97, WCW had been beating them pretty bad for like 6 months. They. Hogan had turned heel. The NWO was just on fire, and like Vince was just trying anything in 97. Like later, he would let ECW invade middle of the year and on Raw, and like he was trying anything to kind of like find this edgy crowd. And how can we be edgy? I'm like, well, just be edgy. Like, be real. Don't what if I make a product that looks completely fake edgy? Yeah, we'll do that. It's called Shotgun Saturday Night. And that's exactly what happened. Like, I'm not celebrating this because it's great. You notice I didn't put the legacy of in front of it.
I couldn't be more upset that you just overrode Chocolate Salty Balls. Don't ever do that again. That was a big moment.
I love Chocolate Salty Balls. Everybody loves Chocolate Salty Balls. Put them in your mouth, then suck them.
Suck them in. That's right. Craig, you can get on this whenever you like. Or we can just jump right into this. WWF Shotgun Saturday Night is a professional wrestling television program that was produced by the World Wrestling Federation. It aired in January. Yep. Yeah.
Produced by me, you fucks.
January 4th of 1997 through August 21st of 1999. So this tried to get to a 3-year point. As a syndicated broadcast, Shotgun Saturday Night was replaced by WWF Jacked in 1999 with 2 Ks. Don't get that mixed up.
Jacked.
Not sure that was much better.
Like
the show's original concept was unusual for its time. It aired on late Saturday nights from the various New York City nightlife locations. The promotion pushed the program as an edgier product than its normal weekly offerings. Shotgun Saturday debuted on January 4th of 97 from the Mirage nightclub in New York.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the premiere of Shotgun Saturday Night. Vince McMahon here along with the Everybody Bakers and beautiful Sonny, who's going to be rocking a house
Oh,
tonight.
you know I'm ready to rock tonight, Vince. I got my jeans in and friends and everything going on tonight.
Yeah, well, in the squared circle, we have a confused Godwin family, and why not? I mean, for the first time ever, we have a mixed tag team matchup.
Oh, my.
Yeah, we have men against women, so to speak. We have actually hot farmers against none.
One of the most
Yeah,
memorable
so,
moments.
yeah, just
Go
stop
ahead.
right there. So it opens with
Just shut the fuck
Jess
up
shared
right
a
now.
link of this opening episode to the chat. And I don't think this text is just not doing it justice of how bad and how desperate Vince was to try and make an edgier product. Just because he lives an hour away in Connecticut, he's got the rings and he's got all the New York connections. Throw a ring in a nightclub, light it like a nightclub, and make it edgy, and drunk teenagers will want to watch wrestling. Absolutely not. Such
On
a
Saturday
horrible,
night.
on Saturday night, the reason Saturday Night Live was created as a show and as survived almost 50 years is because nobody watches television on Saturday night. And the only time they're watching television is when they come home from the clubs and the bars at 11:30. So the dead zone
Saturday
of
Night
television
Live,
in general is Saturday night. Nobody's watching television. So this Shotgun Saturday, this attempt to have a club filled with wrestling with Vince McMahon, you've never seen him in just a t-shirt and khakis, and Sonny's in a bikini, just awful. You'll read on, Dave, but holy shit, this is
Well, you're gonna read on. Yes,
has
right.
no
Because Sonny
clue.
and Vince was in a night, his nightclub wear is like a polo shirt tucked into his fucking jeans or whatever it was.
No,
it
it
was
was
like,
khakis. It wasn't even jeans. Yeah, or
yeah,
maybe
it was like
jeans.
slacks
I
or
don't
whatever.
know.
I don't even remember, but I just remember this trying to look like this is casual, right? This is what you wear in New York
Oh,
on
I'm
Saturday
Vinnie
night.
Mac. No, Vinnie Mac along with Sugar. Shut up.
He was better when he
Shut
knew what he
up.
was. He was better off when he knew what he was. One of those memorable moments, we talked about it, is the debut episode occurred when Marlena climbed onto the ring apron during a match between Goldust and the Sultan and removed her top, causing the Sultan to be distracted and lose the match. Though she was wearing pasties and though her back was facing the camera, this incident was a precursor for the tone of WWF programming for the next several years. So you can argue this kind of started the Jerry Springer era, whatever you want to call it. But you know what the problem with that whole situation is the fact that there's someone called the Sultan going against Goldust. There's your problem.
She does not like what she sees at all.
There have not been many people getting out of this one.
With the camel clutch, and this one's going to be history.
What is she doing on the apron?
What?
Oh my God! What is she doing?
What? I can't.
What is she doing? Oh my God! Who does she think she is?
When they're
She
in
knows
small
about that.
arenas or whatever, so you're in that realistic kind of like setting, right? The lights are dim. It's club lights. It's just the ceiling's not tall. Dave's gonna read on. They actually use like a WCW size
Shrunk
ring,
the
like
ring.
a 17 by 17 ring rather than 19 by 19. And then you
Jesus.
see the Sultan, who's dressed in like a mask and Arabic garb and all that stuff because he's from Iran or whatever. And it's just you're seeing this guy in real life, in a club with club lights, not an arena lights, not looks like, you're supposed, and then Goldust dressed in a gold suit and everything like
Yeah.
that. And they're just two people rolling around on this small dingy ring. And it's
Yeah.
what the fuck are we doing here? What are we
And
doing?
by the way, Dave and Jess, Sonny and Vince, they only highlighted 3 matches that night, and one of them was a midget wrestler versus Mini Vader.
Yeah.
So, and the third one was a Sultan. So they didn't really care about match quality. They were actually
No.
talking about little people matches, the
Marlena
Sultan,
was the
and then they
spot.
opened with flying nun gimmick.
Yeah, the
versus
flying
men.
nun tag team. Yeah.
Insanity.
Well,
Shocking.
let's be
Shocking.
let's be let's be real. Marlena was the spot, right, of the whole night. That's,
Right.
I
And he
mean,
bragged about that on Raw and everything. They showed that clip. They're like, don't forget to tune in. I don't even know what the ratings were. I didn't care to look them up because they were probably terrible.
0.1.
Yeah.
Later episodes of Shotgun Saturday Night were broadcast from the All-Star Cafe in Times Square, the Mirage nightclub in Manhattan, and New York Penn Station. Okay.
Penn Station.
Yeah.
Like you're
The
talking
Penn Station,
like
I'll never forget that. I
500
remember
people are
this.
watching this shit. I don't remember that actually.
Mhm.
Yes, I this is one of the things that I remember. I think I put this in the notes, Dave. Like Undertaker fought Triple H, and they were in the subway like holding station, you know, where you're waiting for the fucking trains and shit. There's a big just
Right.
concrete
Oh, I'm
platform where you
sorry.
could stand.
Sorry.
Yeah,
On
so
the
they put the
platform,
ring
yeah.
down there, and the wrestlers would come down the fucking escalator, the big fucking escalator. And so Undertaker and Triple H fought all the way up to the top of the escalator, and he tombstoned him on the top of the and Triple H was unconscious, sitting up and going down every stair. And I'll never forget it. I don't know why. I'll just never fucking forget it.
From there. Undertaker with him. It's gonna
Wait a minute.
hold on. Right on the escalator.
And he's taking a ride down.
Helmsley's taking a ride down the escalator. Look at that.
We gotta get some referees or something out here. He is hurt.
I don't know why, but that's kind of a fantastic image in my head right
It
there.
actually is not
Watching
a
him play.
terrible moment. I'm saying like that's the one thing I remembered that before I remembered the Marlena bullshit. Like I was like, oh, so we're gonna take her tombstone him down the fucking escalator. Like it's crazy. Like it's just really crazy.
Right.
I want to say that
Yeah,
was the
I'm gonna-
last
I'm
ever
gonna-
on location shotgun, and then Dave will read on in the notes here.
I'm gonna breeze through these notes because the unique elements. You said they didn't use the standard 20 by 20 WWF ring. They used that 17 by 17. All the ring ropes were taped yellow, something that was not replicated until NXT in 2010. And shortly after the show's debut, the nightclub theme was dropped, and the shows began taped in an arena before or after the live Monday Night Raw show. It soon replaced WWF Superstars of Wrestling as the B show, being used to recap the now 2-hour Raw show with original matches featuring lower level talent. So when Raw went over, you would see those shows on Shotgun Saturday Night. It sounds like to me, right?
Yeah, like all the dark
which
matches
still
from Raw and shit.
doesn't help the arena at all. It doesn't help the ratings at all. The show originally featured commentary by Vince McMahon and Sonny, and Jim Ross and Brian Pillman performing the same duties until mid '97.
I'm in my club attire.
The opening
And
had
then
Shawn
Pillman-
Michaels on top of a taxi showing his butt, by the way.
Oh yeah,
That was like-
because you do.
Fantastic. Who doesn't want to see Shawn Michaels' butt? I'm just saying. Pillman was pulled from commentary to being a planted fan on the June 28th, 1997 episode. Kevin Kelly, Michael Cole, Jim Cornette, and Vince Russo also served as commentators. Stone Cold Steve Austin also served as a surprise guest commentator on one episode along with Owen
This
Hart.
shit's stupid. I don't want to ever be invited back again. This is the dumbest shit I've ever been a part of.
I won't do it. I
mean,
won't do it.
I
I
was
like
just-
shotguns. I hate this.
Well, I was just thinking about your point, Jess, like watching the watching Undertaker tombstone Triple H onto the escalator and watch him be unconscious on the way down, all the way to the Undertaker hitting a major elite moment in WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia and knocking the final boss out and helping Cody, not necessarily getting Cody the win, but helping Cody even the tides to the win. And just everything in between that for the Undertaker is so ridiculous, right? And on all spectrums, to be on the amazing side and on the what the fuck is this side, and just what the Undertaker has been through. What Mark? Can we talk, Mark? Can we just talk about the bullshit for like 5 minutes? I know you never want to talk about the bad stuff, but I'd love to sit there and what'd you think about this shit, Mark? Let's talk about your Saturday night moments. Let's talk about those moments. It's just, I think, and Triple H too, he was there, The Rock was there, Stone Cold was there through all this bullshit, and they still, it's always different when
I think didn't
they win.
Bret
When
Hart
you
wrestle didn't Bret Hart wrestle The Rock in a nightclub? Like, or he was Rocky Maivia.
Jesus.
I know Maivia was there for sure. I think Bret wrestled on
Right.
Shotgun Saturday Night in one of the club one night. I think it was Rocky Maivia against Bret. I'm almost positive.
Like dude, it's absolutely crazy when you think about it, and just to see where they've all come to this day, and the ability that they had, and this is what they had to go through. It's
I think Craig said
wild.
at the
And
beginning, it was like, I remember feeling that way. Like, it's, Meltzer says it all the time. He's like, God, when WWE was doing bad, oh, they were so nice to me. Because like when you get down to that niche audience, right? You reach out for
Right.
whatever, you try whatever.
The
But then the
Mox.
second they get successful, they're like, fuck Meltzer, fuck the dirt sheets, fuck them. Like, and that's with any business, I think, or whatever. When you get desperate, you're going to get the clingers on, the leeches.
I would argue it's an element of kayfabe too.
He was trying, Vince was trying so hard. I'll never forget. Like, listen, I loved Hogan, right, back in the day. So, like, when he turned heel and NWO I was all about WCW. I always loved WWF, but I mean, that was always fair. When WWF sucked, they fucking sucked. And, like, so late 96, early 97, like, they were just really bad.
Brutal.
I legitimately thought as a fan, I felt, dude, this might be it. Like, this is bad. Like, WWF was so bad. When it came out with Shotgun Saturday Night, I was like, this is what you're doing? Like, there's no way.
This is
like,
desperation.
The success of WCW was they put real life guys like in this situation where they were real. They had their real names, like, and all that stuff, and we'd never seen that before. Vince did the opposite and took a real life setting, a non-wrestling setting, a non-arena with the lights on you in the middle of the ring, a non-setting, and put them in there in these ridiculous costumes. A dead man in a New York subway. He looked like he stuck out, like, not in a good way.
Did
like,
he though? That sounds normal.
Gold Dust in a nightclub in full garb. The Sultan in full garb.
Sounds
like,
you're in New York. It sounds normal to me.
Like, Vince was trying so hard. Like, he was creating all these real scenarios like around them, but he was taking the bubblegum cartoon character and putting it right in the middle. And I'm like, they don't go.
Jess, I have to ask you, have you been on the New York subway? That's like, a dime a dozen.
I've not been tombstone down it. If we ever do go there, I really encourage one of you to tombstone.
I'm just saying, if you're saying Goldust and Undertaker were out of place in New York, I would beg to differ.
Well, that's a good point.
Maybe that's the problem.
Think,
it was too normal. It was too normal for New Yorkers. I don't
know.
Maybe
it was just really fucking normal. But yeah, it was just really weird. Every time Vince tried weird stuff like that, it's so crazy. Like the way they climbed out of it, by the way, and the way, like, out of nowhere, of all people, Vince Russo was like, "No, dude, like, you have to get a little bit more edgier. You have to kind of get cooler. You can't." And Russo does deserve credit for that. Like, Vince's creativity and his production, that's what put everything over the top, because WWF was always so good at producing whatever it was they were doing, whether it's shitty Shotgun Saturday Night or an edgy product. Like, they were always so good at, like, putting it over the top. And once the machine got behind it, it was unstoppable. But, like, yeah, it's just so weird to see, like, right before they figured life out, like 8 months later, they kind of Stone Cold hit and SummerSlam happened, and then the screw job happened. And, like, it's just really weird how earlier that year in 97, it looked bad. It looked like they will never figure out how to be cool. That's why when people are like, AEW's done, I was like, listen, they're just in a period right now where they don't really know what's cool anymore. All you need is a spark. All you fucking need is a spark.
So
WCW was the same way, and they got this spark. Hall and Nash came in, was the spark that they needed, and they're like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Like, they reacted to two guys in jeans, a lot of denim, and, like, but just two guys coming in and just being in their normal fucking clothes with their fanny packs on and all that shit, and people were like, this is real. And Bischoff was like, wait a minute, like, we have something. And, like, Vince did the same thing. Austin just caught fire. And it was just like, oh, people like characters. People like, like a real life thing. They're tired of their boss or this and that. It's just so weird. In January of 97, a mere, like, 8-9 months before the Attitude Era, like, really started, they were, like, doing Shotgun Saturday Night from nightclubs. It's so fucking weird. Weird to think about.
Just a quick list of early venues. We had the Mirage nightclub in New York City, also with the All-Star Cafe in Same Said City, Denim and Diamonds in San Antonio, Texas.
Denim and Diamonds is probably my favorite.
Webster Hall in New York, Mirage nightclub in New York City. Most of these were New York City. And then Penn Station, like you talked about with Triple H and Undertaker, taking a ride down the escalator. Just ridiculous stuff. I don't know. I don't know what to say about this. I mean, I want to say I'm embarrassed, but you're not as embarrassed when you win. If this was WCW, we'd be trashing it way more than we are. I don't know what else to say to it, but that's kind of what I think about it. I don't know if Craig, if you think any different, but
no, I think Jess said it all. I think what a horrible mistake. 2 months in New York nightclubs, lose a bunch of money, ship it to syndicated, bye.
Yeah,
just awful.
And then realize you could just tape it all in the same venue and
just done.
Terrible.
Terrible.
Split it up. Just like he did on Sunday and Saturday mornings. That shit was split up and recorded and put in different venues. And they even did the commentary from freaking New York. From Connecticut, right? So, like, you could have just done that and been fine and not worried about the venue. It was like you put so much emphasis on the venue that you were so far behind. And then finally you realize that, I guess eventually, TV deals are what matters and changed everything, For audio fans, give us a listen on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio, or watch our videos on YouTube at Our Wrestling Channel, and check out exclusive content on Daily Motion at Our Wrestling Podcast. On social media, can you give us a follow on Instagram at O.W.P 2019 or on Facebook at Our Wrestling Podcast? For Craig and Jess and the Butters, this is the O.W.P signing off. Have a good one.